Evening, everyone. Welcome to the Monday Spooktacular. I'm Musa PVD, your host, and today we will be continuing my playthrough of Vampire the Masquerade, Shadows of New York. So where we left off was at a very interesting place in the game. Our heroine, Julia, who is an extremely gifted journalist, has been turned into a vampire, and she quickly uncovers some sort of plot within Vampire Society of New York, and that plot has resulted in the leader of the Anarchs supposedly meeting his final death. So we left our heroine and her colleagues, if you'd like to call them that, in the throes of the final death of the Anarch leader of New York. So here we go. Hey, Zeph, thanks for coming. Yes, a clear answer. I need that too. To my knowledge, none of us present here ordered his destruction, nor did we participate in it. Unless someone wants to confess, it's now or never. Of course, nobody speaks up. Arturo pretends to clear his throat. I remember Arturo being kind of suspicious. I don't remember very much about him, but he's a shady motherfucker. That's our official position as well. The Camarilla's ruling body had nothing to do with it, and don't be suspicious. For all intents and purposes, his Anarch contenders had more interest in removing him than we did. That interest is sure to manifest in one way now. His former enemies will prop him up as a martyr for the cause. Yes, which is why we sadly can't just leave the Anarchs to their own devices. Hang on. Okay, sorry, I was just checking something. As much as we'd like to avoid recognizing their sect in any way, we've offered to assist them in an official investigation. Oh, really? That's very suspicious. Because, when a crime is committed, it's very often the first people to insert themselves into the investigation are possibly guilty of said crime. I guess we'll find out. Addison Payne's wrinkled face contorts slightly. Let me just ask you one question. You do realize those curs have no respect for our traditions, yes? We do, Addison. But as a veteran politician, you should be deeply familiar with the words controlled opposition. Yes. For now, it's impossible to fully contain the Anarch threat in New York. For now, our only option is to prop up a candidate who will offer the least resistance to our future plans for the city. We extend our hand to the most promising contender, giving him a way to present himself as a diplomat, a man of reasonable compromise. The rabble falls in line. The purists grow angry and alienated. We've already contacted the best possible person in their sect. He will oversee the investigation, and it's in his best interest to show he's able to resolve the situation calmly. Is that good enough? Addison ponders the question for a while, then waves his hand again. It is. Proceed. Funny thing, nobody's paying any attention to me right now. Keep in mind, Mr. Payne, our man's people will still barely tolerate us, and the situation is volatile. The other factions within that sorry excuse for a sect might still try to escalate the conflict. I will do my best to solve this situation as fast as possible. How so? Kadir is momentarily taken aback by Arturo's question. I volunteer to coordinate the case with the Anarchs, of course. I refuse. You have more important duties to focus on. Once more, Kadir is stunned. All due respect, Prince, but if you don't consider me capable of tackling this issue and attending to my usual duties at the same time, I think you gravely underestimate me. Your penchant for working yourself to the bone is well known and appreciated by everyone in this room, Sheriff. But so is your perfectionism. If we do grant your wish and let you investigate while still fulfilling your routine obligations, can you guarantee you're going to give both these tasks your best? I can guarantee something very close to my best. Close to your best doesn't cut it, Al-Azmai. Not when the vultures are out in force. Callahan's destruction is sure to cause unrest among the Anarchs, and there's an obvious outlet for their pent-up rage. I want to make this perfectly clear. The celebrations will continue as planned, no matter what. This is why your presence here is absolutely necessary, Sheriff. We rely on your constant protection. Of course, my prince. We must be on constant vigil for a few days. Al-Azmai's sword must be constantly pointed at the enemies surrounding us. The timing of the Baron's destruction is impeccable. The Anarch leaders are sure to point at us and claim we're shamelessly celebrating his end. Does anybody believe it's just a coincidence? Murders are messy, almost as messy as politics. It's impossible to reliably predict the outcome of any violent action. I think it'd be wise of us to brace for a lot of unfortunate coincidences, Eiling. In any case, the rebel can't get the impression that their power struggles are of great concern to us, but they also can't think we have something to hide, which brings me to my point. We do need a symbolic gesture, one displaying expertly measured intensity. My best bet is a humble diplomatic envoy, a low-level official acting as an investigator of sorts. I implore you, Prince Kadir. He bites his tongue and struggles to collect himself. I rarely see him lose his temper, at least where the Camarilla is involved. What's going on? Yeah, oh no, indeed. I wonder about your suggestion for this role. After all, it's not particularly prestigious, but carries a lot of responsibility. We're still talking about a Camarilla representative. Yeah, she is. Shoveling shit against the tide, our Julia. Oh, I think there's a very obvious candidate. Both he and Kadir look at me simultaneously. Everyone else in the room does too. Now, wait a second. He can't possibly mean. Miss Julia, once again, your full name eludes me at the moment. Am I allowed to speak? Or maybe I should wait for permission. Before I make up my mind, the sheriff sighs deeply and speaks up. Sawinski. Miss Julia Sawinski, right. I understand you used to be an investigative journalist before your embrace. That's correct. Among others, the Banu Hakim Primogen insisted that you are worthy of greater privileges and should be given a chance to prove yourself. Samira measures Arturo with suspicion. Yes. Do you still think she's capable? She looks me deep in the eye. I swear she's telepathically trying to tell me, please, please, please don't fuck this up, you dumbass little white girl. Of course. Good. And I'm sure that you, Al-Azmai, have no problem with your protege embarking on this mission, save for the pain a mother feels when watching her child leave the nest. It's such an awkward analogy when applied to somebody like Kadir. Mm-hmm. That's the fucking maternal instinct of a shark, basically. Whether I do or don't is not particularly important right now, is it? It absolutely is. Panard's backing of Arturo momentarily blindsides him. Prince Panard, if Arturo's plan is reckless, I want you to tell me. I need a simple yes or no answer. Is the girl capable? Now he knows he's left with no choice. I wouldn't entrust her with all the responsibilities that I have if she wasn't. He exchanges glances with me, but his look is different than Samira's. It's as if he is trying to apologize to me. Here we are then, a recommendation from the Banu Hakim Primogen and the sheriff. To tell you the truth, I was just throwing out ideas, but with this backing, I can't doubt the Night Clan's representative will get the job done. I'm certain each of us feels the same. Mr. Payne? The atmosphere in the room mostly suggests people are glad they don't have to discuss the topic further. A shrug here, an averted gaze there. It is as you say. I will watch the way she handles this situation with great interest. Well then, Miss Sawinski, looks like you've got your chance for a big break. I actually don't know how to answer this. You know what? No, let's go for it. Big break doesn't mean much by itself. All I see is a big responsibility being placed on my shoulders. What do I stand to gain here, exactly? Even though I normally jump at the chance to be useful, I play it cool. All of a sudden, not only everyone acknowledges my existence, but believes I can handle solving a tense criminal case, if something seems too good to be true. Let's not be vulgar now. You stand to improve your standing at the court. Yes. We can discuss the particulars based on your performance. Yeah, they don't plan on giving me shit. Figures. It's not like I can refuse, but this is something I need to take into account while taking care of this case. I need a bargaining position if I want to get anything out of this. Yeah, I'll do it. Just point me in the right direction and tell me what to do. Excellent. That leaves us with only one more matter, which I hope we can agree on. Prince Panard singles someone with their hand. The figure emerges from behind the corner. Good evening. Catherine. What a pleasant surprise. Nobody informed us you are in town. Addison. Looking healthier than ever. And what does V's have to do with it? We need an impartial observer who everyone respects. And as it happens, Catherine always knew how to make friends on both sides without angering either. I beg to I'd be grateful if, just for once, you decided against throwing a tantrum about me, High Regent. A painful grimace crosses Eiling's face, but she is quick to interpret the taunt as an invitation to a game she can't possibly win. As long as she can prove herself useful to the proceedings in some way. If half of what I heard about her from Mr. van der Weyden is true, she should be able to. And what did poor Carter say about me this time? Nothing specific. One always has to read between the lines with him. But it was mostly envy. Miss V's gracefully agreed to mediate between the Anarch representative and the La Sombra representative, ensuring mutual cooperation and mitigating potential conflicts. That felt like a Freudian slip. La Sombra representative, not Camarilla representative, i.e., someone who can be catapulted with the sect without much damage to the ivory tower if they mess up. Is there a meeting set up? Arturo looks at the clock on the other side of the room. In less than an hour. You'd better hurry then. What the hell? All of this is happening so fast. If the situation is indeed under control, I will drive her and oversee the situation. Out of the question. You've got your orders, Sheriff. Attend to those. You fool. The girl needs guidance. And we need yours. Nobody knows what might happen next. But it's not as if the Anarchs have a lot of love for you, Al-Azmai. You're too efficient in their duties for them to tolerate you. Better spare Miss Sawinski having them see you two together. Do you think my guidance of Julia would be lacking, Kadir? I never said that. So, do you have any objections to putting her under my care? He lowers his gaze, but seems reassured. None whatsoever. That's all I needed to hear. We'll be going then. Wasting no time as usual, I see. Have you at least tried the aperitifs? Waiting is an old person's game, Helene. I still feel young. Remember, if there's anything you need help with, probably not, but I appreciate the thought nevertheless. Have a great night, everyone. I'll catch up with you later, Addison. That sounds like a fucking threat, doesn't it? I'll catch up with you later. I certainly hope you do. And so, we leave. In a rush. Funny, considering what she told me about being in a hurry yesterday. We're here. She thanks the chauffeur and lets me out of the car into a quiet neighborhood somewhere in Queens. Seemed like you were in a rush. I couldn't stand the crowd. She's honest. Probably performatively so, just to get into my good graces. Well, it's working. And why is that? In my experience, gatherings like those always enable a boring pack mentality. All the familiar lies we tell ourselves to justify lusting for more, repeated ad nauseum. Speaking of lies, you seem honest, but yesterday, you told me not to rush. And I stand by it. Do as I say, not as I do. That's the best advice I can give you. I definitely need more advice than that. Back at the art hole, you said something about guiding me, but I have zero idea what to do. None whatsoever. I had a few necessary arrangements to make over the phone before we got here to ensure your pretty little head stays attached to your neck. For now, anyway. I am grateful, but I still feel way out of my depth. I need to know what to do. You used to make a living as an investigative journalist, did you not? Investigate the murder. In TV shows where an investigative journalist gets too close to the heart of a politically incendiary case, it rarely goes well. A cat's head on their porch, a bullet to the head. So are you afraid you might be a pawn in a game you don't understand? That your elders consider you a disposable asset? That a single wrong move might cost you everything you hold dear? That sounds about right, yeah. Well, by the sound of it, you understand your situation perfectly. Don't belittle me. I need your advice. Be anything you want, but don't be boring, Julia. If I wanted to belittle you, I would have drowned you in platitude long ago. I mean, yeah, that is Vampire the Masquerade, isn't it? Know thyself. Believe in your strength. Trust no one. Act confident. Turn the chessboard around and read your opponent's mind. Read Sun Tzu. Quote him incessantly. Say, do you feel any better now? Can I ask you something? Seeing as Mia is still not here. Of course. Do you know who killed Baron Callahan? I haven't the slightest idea. Were you emotionally impacted by his death? Not at all. Did you know him? Only passingly, I'm afraid. I expected him to perish sooner rather than later, so I never bothered to improve our relationship. Why are you helping me? Am I? That remains to be seen. What do you mean? You do not want a painfully honest answer. But I do. She stares me down. Her irreverent tone makes it impossible to guess what she's feeling, even more so than the mask. When I look at you, I see someone pitiful, someone whose hunger is purely biological, just an animalistic rush. When I saw a burgeoning plan to put you in a situation that is way beyond your capabilities, I offered my help. I was curious to see your true colors reveal themselves firsthand. When everything is said and done and Callahan's killer is pointed out, will you be a whimpering animal or a victor taking the spoils? I cannot wait to find out. I don't know what to say. Is she provoking me, or... Mia should be here any second. You have time for one last question. What do you do to hold so much sway over this city? I have the best occupation in the world, and I made sure nobody is better at it than I am. And that occupation is a socialite. And that was your last question. Direct the rest of them to her. A woman around my age emerges from around the corner of the street. I've never met her before, but if I had to describe her in 2 words by her aura alone, I guess those words would be permanently angry, even more so than your average anarch. You must be Catherine Rees. And you must be me, Morgan. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. The pleasure's mutual. This your girl? Julia Sawinski, the La Sombra primogen. The La Sombra representative. I correct her automatically. At this point, it's a habit. Good. If you were a primogen, I might have tried to kill you here and now. Is Torque still on the site? Nah. I told him I'd take it from here. By the end of tonight, he needs to look like a natural candidate for the leader of the New York City Anarchs. It's going to take a lot of driving around and negotiations. How did he react to finding Callahan's remains? He hasn't exactly elaborated on his feelings, but I expect he reacted the same way every true believer in the cause did. It's this complicated mess of all the possible feelings under the moon. So he was the first one who's seen the murder site? Oh, so you're already calling it a murder site? Does the Ivory Tower know something we don't? It's not the official position, but I expect a lot of them think it's Torque who stood to benefit the most from Boss's death, and it sounds like he's quick to jump on new opportunities. You don't know him. Yes, but I'd love to meet him and ask him some questions, especially if he was the one who found the body. Well, if you're meeting Torque at all, it won't be tonight. He's too busy. I was assigned to investigate. I won't be able to do it properly if I'm not able to question a key witness. I'll arrange for him to see you this week. This week? Aren't the tensions a little too high for delaying an investigation like this? Well, Torque's work is our best shot at making sure they won't get hired, so boo fucking who. I'm his right-hand woman, though. You got any questions? Direct them to me. Maybe the 2 of you should just head to Callahan's office. The discussion here does not seem to be going in the right direction, nor in a particularly interesting one. You're not coming? Torque and you are not the only ones who have their work cut out for them tonight. I trust you can take it from here. And Mia, be easy on her. In slightly different circumstances, I expect the 2 of you would have ended up on the same side of the barricades. Uh-huh. Take care. She heads back to her vehicle. Well, follow me. I'll show you his place. It's a 19th century style office. Classical, wooden, smelly. The stuffy air of books, old furniture, and dust covers much of the fragrance of decay, but not all of it. This is the first time I've seen the remains of a vampire who has met final death. I heard stories of really old kindred crumbling to dust, but that's an exaggeration. At least, it didn't happen here. When kindred die, time catches up with them. If you offed me right now, I'd probably turn into an ugly, leaky corpse. But Callahan was well over a century old. It's like looking at a dapper mummy. A desiccated body and a heap of musty clothes. All that is left of the mighty boss Douglas Callahan, Anarch Baron of New York City. If that's really him. Needless to say, it might be a little hard to establish the time of death or the cause, especially as his garb doesn't have any obvious damage. What a great place to start! Have you already found anything suspicious? Nothing you don't see in front of you. Uh-huh. This door is the only point of entry to the room, right? Yeah, unless you count the windows, but nobody except for Callahan knew how to operate those, and they don't let air or light through. Metal blinders on the windows facing east, the only modern element of the room, sticking out like a sore thumb. They look automated. Was the door open when Torque got here? Well, that's the one suspicious thing. It wasn't. It's as if Callahan locked himself in from the inside. A closed room mortar. Huh. There's some glass scattered on the floor. I point at it. Could that be from the window? I checked it from the outside. It's in perfect condition. So what's this glass? I have no idea. Why does it seem like she has her suspicions, but is remaining uncooperative just because, fuck off Camarilla scum? I check the next point of interest, a wall safe, surprisingly large. I play with the lock a bit. What's the combination? It's Callahan's. What makes you think I know? At least I tried. A desk with nothing but an envelope on it. Nothing inside. I check all the drawers. Every single one has been thoroughly emptied. I don't know what I expected. Is this how the Anarchs go around securing crime scenes? Were these emptied before Torque arrived? I don't know. But I wouldn't accuse him of tampering with evidence if I were you. Well, thank you. The decor of the room is pretty minimal, so there's not a lot of points of interest that could illuminate the case. I start getting nervous. I point at the painting on the wall. Of course, you have no idea who that is. Callahan's ancestor, I guess? I'm out of ideas. Everything I look at feels like another dead end. I'm frustrated. I feel as if I failed this investigation before it's even started. There must be something more. I start walking around, trying to find a single clue. Mia just watches me indifferently. Give me anything. Anything, goddammit. Anything. Huh? A shadow blinks in and out of existence near Callahan's remains. I freeze in place. Are you trying to help me? What are you mumbling about? In case you missed it, I'm not particularly fond of your sect. Doesn't seem like Mia noticed it. Give me just a moment more. She groans under her nose and goes back to messaging someone on her phone. When she does, the shadow appears again. I actually don't remember who this is. Once again, blink in, blink out. Could something be there? I approach the clothes and start searching them for a clue. Maybe we missed something. Getting desperate, huh? Just being thorough. We've searched the bastard like 3 times. He had nothing of interest on him. How about this? A small card, barely noticeable, looking a bit like a shopping list, is shoved deep into an almost invisible hole in the fabric. I take it out and show it to Mia. Huh. You didn't plant that there, did you? No? Did you? Shove off. What's on it? It's a list of 4 names. D'Angelo, Hope, Agathon, Tamika. Any idea what this is about? Beats me. She's lying, but I don't care. Tomorrow night I will meet up with Kadir and ask him to help me figure it out. Think I'm done here. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Guess she sees me as nothing more than an enemy agent. When will I get to meet with Torque? If, and that's a big if, he will agree to meet you on a one-to-one basis. Catherine will let you know. He probably won't let a loyal Camarilla lapdog like you see him without her oversight anyway. A Camarilla lapdog, huh? It's a risky play, of course, and it might backfire, but maybe I'd benefit if I put my loyalty to the court into question. Ooh, girl, you're in danger. Yeah, nah. Let's not. Playing for both sides sounds like a recipe for trouble. Just too risky and stressful. Pass. I actually don't remember what I chose last time. There's so many different branches you can take with this game, which is half the fun, honestly. Sorry. Hang on. I see. Well, have a good night. Thanks, Seth. My dress button came undone. It was very uncomfy. It's getting late. Or early. I actually don't remember if I've done this branch. I remember, like, there are certain things that always happen up to a certain point. Like, you always have to come to investigate Callahan's office. But I don't remember how I handled Mia the first time. It's getting late. Or early, depending on how you look at it. Once I leave Callahan's office, I head straight to Dakota's apartment. I try to sneak by to my bedroom, but she's up waiting for me. How was your night? Shit. Tomorrow. What happened? You look like something the cat dragged in. Tomorrow. I promise. But I'm worried. Don't be. Tomorrow. She gives me a concerned look, then closes her eyes, slumps her shoulders, and frowns. All right. You're the best. I reach my pitch-black room and throw myself on the bed. The responsibilities, the stakes, the way I always feel too slow to react properly in these situations. Yeah, girl, I feel that. I don't want to think. I want to turn off my brain. I want to drift into the void. Into the void, into the void, into the void. Oh, you have received your first trait. Some choices in the game will push Julia towards different ways of thinking, which will have a lasting effect on her throughout the story. You will see a brief pop-up on the top of your screen anytime that you receive a new trait. You can always view any unlocked traits in the lock screen accessed through the top left icon. Woo! Remember that ruthlessness is the mark of a true Lasombra, but you might walk another path before reaching that destination. Loyal to the end. I was told you'd make it big. Get real. These assholes are just using me as a pawn in some stupid fourth-dimensional chess game. As opposed to just keeping you off the chessboard, don't be a glass-half-empty buzzkill. Watch them make me a scapegoat or something. That would be exciting. I could write a book about living with a 21st century Lee Harvey Oswald. Come on, don't even joke like that. I haven't killed anyone. Julia, honey, neither did Oswald. Yeah, right. I keep forgetting. Stop wriggling or I'll mess your face up. Sorry. I'm always obedient when she's busy working on my makeup. It's hard to take care of your appearance, especially your face, when you can't even see yourself in the mirror. Not that I've ever been particularly good at it, but Dakota doesn't seem to mind. I'm her goth dress-up doll. Her presence in my unlife is one of the few good things that my sire provided for me before fucking off to Chicago. Normally, I'd be told to find myself a ghoul, but many of our clan, myself included, finds the idea of ghouls distasteful. It's when you feed a human vampiric blood. We're cat people, not dog people. We don't want mindlessly faithful servants. We want companions who rely on us despite having, in theory anyway, the free will not to. The kind of relationship I have with Dakota would normally be a breach of the Masquerade's rules, but the rules are different for kindred who are Camarilla adjacent, even losers like me. Simplifying here, but my sire made it clear that her child would not own slaves, and that was the end of the discussion. To be honest, I think the court mostly agreed to that request because they wanted one more thing to blackmail me with, just in case. What would you do in my place? If I had to investigate your elite's wrongdoings, yeah. I'd probably look for those rich fucks pedophile rings. Look for the assholes who mention pizza suspiciously often, see you as powerful friends in Manhattan jails, stuff like that. Oh, come on. Nah, I'm serious. Search for the deep rot, and a lot of smaller crimes will get solved in the process. What is it with you and conspiracy theories? What do you mean? You just told me your bosses are having eyes wide shut parties, and suddenly you don't believe in rich people's pedophile rings? I don't know. I don't know if I want to know. My point is, you act as if all the conspiracy theories are real. Like, you can't possibly believe all that shit. Half of it doesn't even make sense. Well, you want an interesting answer or a real answer? The real answer should be the more interesting one. She removes her brush from my face to gather her thoughts. Everyone's lost nowadays. Just look at the world. It's drowning in facts that fail to cohere into a single convincing narrative or a story that resonates. The corporate media want you to believe in empirical thinking, but it always fails to deliver moral or metaphysical truths, and the people desperately lack those. So what do? They turn to conspiracists, and suddenly they are able to navigate the world. And why is that? Because the conspiracy theories give them emotional truths that serve as a compass. Is Bill Gates trying to insert satanic microchips into my body? Probably not. I hope not. Now, is he a terrible person? No idea, but there's ample evidence that that might be the case. It's in his ruthless business strategies, the company he used to keep, the philosophies he follows. People look at him and they feel he's fishy. So when the media present him as a genius or a savior, and I post that he wants to put the mark of the beast in my body, they choose to believe me. Because it makes moral, emotional, and metaphysical sense to them. And ultimately, that's what matters most. The end. Wow, I'm 99% sure this is complete bullshit, but I'm buying it. I mean, it totally misrepresents most conspiracy nut jobs I knew. But it's interesting and fun to think about, so I don't really give a damn if it's the truth. See, that's the idea. You get it. You came up with this monologue yourself? Oh no, I read it on Facebook. Ah, figures. But just to make sure, vaccines are okay? Well, as far as I know, they don't cause autism. Good to hear. Anywho, I'm done. You're the best. Yeah, considering how many times I've done makeup on a dead body, I probably have enough job experience to be a mortician by now. Now that sounds like an exciting career, but in reality, it's probably the most boring thing under the sun. Yeah, I like my corpses talkative, pouty, and self-loathing. Shut up. This carcass will be leaving now. It's got a job to do. Go get him, Tiger! First thing I need to do, meet up with Kadir tonight and report to him. I hope he knows how to guide me out of this mess. I'm drinking tea. Just a sec. I've had a cold since last Friday, so indeed nourishment. All this talking requires ample hydration. It's fun though. He should have time for me in an hour or two. In the meantime, I suppose it's time to find some... What's the most dehumanizing word I could use here? Nourishment! Kadir told me I need to quench my hunger less often if I didn't smoke. It kills you, he said. But to start killing itself, your organism must pretend it's alive, and that uses up precious vitae. But I love cigarettes. The way they smell, the way they burn, the hot ash falling from the top, the sound of the lighter, the way they kill you, of course. And I guess I need some tactile connection to who I was back when I was alive. Okay, New York City, guide my steps. Show me which one of your children I should drink up tonight. No blood, no matter how exquisite, is worth suffering through this noise. Dude, is this the club from The Matrix? Something terrible must have happened to the previous DJ. It had to be sudden and unexpected for them to hire this amateur under the wire. Zero ability to read the crowd, no sense of flow, as if that constant flashing wasn't migraine-inducing enough by itself. Not that I remember how an ordinary headache feels. I know the hunger, though, which is why I'm here tonight. A purple-haired girl bumps into me, head down, tears flowing down her cheeks, hands trembling. As much as I'd understand it, I don't think it's the guy at the turntables that made her like this. Oof. Oh, I'm so sorry. She bolts before I can say a single word. Well, who am I to blame her? A tactical retreat probably felt like a good idea. The trace of cheap booze in every potential vessel is faint but ever present. At this point, the smell is all I'm getting. Come to think of it, I can barely remember how alcohol tastes. Maybe I should remind myself. Nah, that's dumb. But the bar is pretty much free of people at the moment. I get closer and take a peek at the drinks menu. These are some goofy fucking names, especially from a kinder's perspective. The Bloody Margaret. Oh my god, we'll try the Vampiro. After a short while, the crackling of the ice cubes announces the arrival of the sparkling blend. The tall glass, garnished with an orange slice and chili pepper, contains enough fruit and juice to successfully mask the smell of tequila. Mazel tov! I chug it down in one go. It tastes like an awful mix of all kinds of Nesbitt soda, topped up with a hint of fermented cactus pulp. Something tells me I'm going to regret it soon. The music abruptly stops just as I step away from the bar. I can't see the booth, but the crowd's reaction tells me all I need to know. Looks like we have a new DJ. The vibe immediately improves. Hallelujah. But pleasant moments never last. Some well-worn dude on the wrong side of 40 decides to hit me up. Our eyes meet for a brief moment, slightly too late for me to outmaneuver him. Strangely, there's no lust in his gaze, and yet he seems like a predator closing in on its prey. Shit, he could be the rumored diva's delight, a kiss addict clocking me as a bloodsucker. How come you're here all alone, sweetheart? I can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but there's something irksome in the way he carries himself. As he approaches me, I begin to feel fatigued. Yeah, I'm definitely going to eat him. Like there was a sudden drop in atmospheric pressure. I give him a purely hateful glare, but I find it weirdly strenuous to keep my eyes on him for longer than a few seconds. There's something about him that ruins what little composure I have, and I think he knows that. I feel spiders crawling up my spine. Is there something wrong? Here, let me... Hands off, asshole. No, I did not wake up and choose violence today. I woke up and violence personally informed me I was the chosen one. I grab his wrist in a tight grip and start twisting until I feel the snap of a dislocated joint. He screams in pain, but fortunately the music drowns it out. As soon as I let go of his hand, he runs for the exit. He stares me down before leaving, and I can't help but sense something, worse than the fear in his eyes. It makes me feel uncomfortable. As if meeting that asshole didn't strain me enough, an acrid feeling rises in my gut, instantly making me nauseous. I barely make it to the nearest empty lounge before I begin violently throwing up. For a minute straight, I spray the couch with the remains of that wretched cocktail. It's not a pleasant sight. Alas, our girl does not have the eat food merit. I get a hold of myself as soon as my stomach empties. Shit, Julia. Your life has had more than its fair share of avoidable embarrassments. Is it necessary for your unlife to follow suit? Time to bail and not look back. Right before I reach the exit, the purple-haired girl from earlier bumps into me once again. This time I know it's not coincidental. Wait, please. She seems startled, but she gives me a pleading look. I saw what you did to that man. Are you one of them? What are you talking about? Who's them? She bares her teeth and taps the side of her neck. Oh, I get it. So you're the diva's delight? She blushes innocently, like I just caught her stealing cookies. Yes, it sounds silly, I know, but I thought it would attract some of, some of your kind. I've always been told I taste good. Would you like to try? She looks at me the same way a junkie who hasn't had his hit for a while looks at a syringe. You know too much. There's no way you don't have a patron of some sort. Her eyes tear up again. I do, but maybe I don't. I don't know anymore. He shows up whenever he wants and then disappears for weeks. I don't even know his name. We were supposed to meet here tonight, but I guess he didn't show up. The girl keeps talking. Now that she's found somebody new to open up to, any instinct she might have had to remain secretive is gone. It makes you wonder who thought it was a good idea to breach the Masquerade for her. Before him, I used to have a caregiver. She was one of the divas too, but she was exceptional, noble. I think she cared about me, in a way. She always complimented the way I taste. Maybe? I don't know. I definitely think there's more to this than meets the eye, though. Would you like a try? She clings to my arm like I am Jesus Christ and Kurt Cobain at the same time, descended from heaven exclusively to turn her misery to bliss. I can't help but feel some disdain. Please, I promise you won't be disappointed. I know I won't be. I'm too hungry for that. But I also like to pretend I'm something better than hungry from time to time. You know, we actually haven't eaten in 2 days. The hunger gets the better of me, but somehow I don't mind. This is what she wants, isn't it? A quick look around. Nobody's paying attention. Why would they? We're just 2 random girls who seem to be into each other. I gently grab the back of her head and put my lips closer to her neck. She visibly trembles with excitement. As I bite down, her body softens. Then I drink, savoring each sip. She really tastes incredible, like an unfulfilled promise. Sweet, sweet innocence. As soon as I am done, she loses her footing, weakened, but undoubtedly relieved. I help her sit down on the floor. She smiles at me, joy glinting in her eye. Thank you. I really needed that. My name's Don't Talk. Just rest for a while. I leave her alone in this state of bliss. She doesn't seem to mind. It looks like I did the right thing. Right? I leave the booming sounds of the club behind me and get on with my night. All right, what's next? Seems like it might be important to meet with Samira, so we'll go ahead and do that. A clean-cut staff member dressed in an impeccable company uniform smiles at me as the elevator door opens. Good evening, ma'am. Meeting someone? I dismiss his question with an apathetic shrug. He sizes me up for a moment, visibly questioning my fashion sense. However, his professional acumen quickly trumps his discontent. Very well. This way, please. New York City's nouveau riche seem awfully hungry for gourmet soup this late at night. The patrician is packed almost to the brim. The concierge points me over to the last vacant table, conveniently situated in the far-off corner of the main hall. I nestle in the chair, letting my elbows rest on the ornate tablecloth. Watch out, oblivious white collars. There's a black widow in your midst. Well, I'm here. Might as well just kick back and die of boredom. Yeah. I really, really need something to occupy my mind. As I'm waiting, I rack my brain for any idea why the Banu Hakim Primogen wanted me here tonight instead of out there, working my case. The obvious possibility, and the one I'm counting on, is that she has some sort of lead she wasn't comfortable sharing at Elysium. And I'm almost certain that's a false hope, though. This whole investigation still feels like a joke being told at my expense. While I'm trying to figure out how I feel about this, somebody finally takes notice of me. The concierge quickly closes in on me, dancing habitually between the tables, and addresses me before I can even utter a single word. "Excuse me, ma'am, are you Miss Sawinski, by chance?" As soon as I nod, he hands me a carefully folded memo and leaves. The note reads, "The manager of this establishment insulted the Camarillah's authority with his negligence. Even though it's minor, his transgression must be penalized. I would like you to assist me in this matter. Such a display of goodwill on your part would surely improve your standing with the higher-ups. Choose an appropriate, non-lethal punishment. S." Yeah, right? The death knell for any business. Womp womp. Well, this is disappointing. It was a high order to expect any help with the investigation, I guess. Instead, just another chore. The best I can hope for is that this really is just a friendly request, and not a deliberate attempt to derail my work this early in the game. Ugh, damn it. Might as well get it done since I'm already here, so I can move on with more pressing stuff. I swiftly approach the manager and tap him on the shoulder. He furrows his brow as soon as he notices me. "I'm afraid I'm busy. One of the waiting staff should be able to. We have something to discuss. The VIP lounge, now, if you please." His face loses color. Maybe it has dawned on him that I'm even paler than the other, more blue-blooded guests. He immediately becomes compliant as I escort him through a side door. The room isn't empty, but its guests are just leaving. Nobody pays me any attention. The manager is as polite as he can be as he sees the patrons out, but I can see he's clearly losing his shit. He quietly asks one of his staff to give him 5 minutes in the lounge and gingerly closes the doors behind him. Then the pleading starts. "Listen, I know I screwed up. I shouldn't have let him in. How can I know he's not one of the proper clients? I don't give a... Listen, hey. I would never. I implore you. I have children, for Christ's sake. There must be something, an arrangement, a way to..." He just goes on as if I'm not even here. With each subsequent whimper, he becomes more and more irritating. Just shut up for a goddamn second. My outburst finally makes him hold his tongue. I light up the last stick in the package and take a slow puff, trying to compose myself. "I have no use for your explanations and justification. I don't know what sort of transgression you've committed. I should never ever have let this Sansarit guy in. And truth be told, I don't give a shit. It will never happen again. I swear on my mother's grave. I'm not that good a judge of character, but him pleading with his arms out really makes him look like the biblical wayward son swearing to change his ways. Will be nice." I approach him slowly with the nastiest smile I can muster. With my every step, the sound of his voice falters ever so slightly until all that's left is the ambience of the room and the main lobby beyond. Then I put my finger right in his face. "This is your last fucking chance. If I ever have to come here again." As I show him a throat-slitting gesture, the faint scent of urine begins to spread through the room. Jesus Christ, if I could only see myself in the mirror right now. I don't want to be here for a second longer. I take off. I realize how close I was just to ripping this guy a new asshole. Karen warned me that something in our bloodline finds sniveling weaklings detestable. Is that what triggered me? But that's a conundrum for another occasion. I did what I was asked, and I sure as hell wasted enough time here. I should move on. Karen bloodline. I mean, I feel like that's the Ventru, though. All right, it's about time I head to see Kadir. Mighty kind of him to arrange a meeting in the place that's most convenient for me. D'Angelo, Hope, Tamika, Agathon. I suppose that's better than nothing, but no evidence? Really? Honestly, it felt as if someone had already cleaned up the most egregious stuff before I arrived. Sounds like the Anarchs. I'll definitely try and check that place again, but I feel I need some sort of expert to accompany me. An advanced investigator who would show me the ropes. Someone tall and handsome, maybe? Yeah, if you don't mind a diplomatic incident, I'll go with you. Any better ideas? Actually, this very note gave me one, but I will need to set it up first. I'll get back to you about that. You know these people? I've had passing contact with each of them. Part and parcel of the job, you know. I suppose. Can you help me out with this? The way I'd tackle it would be, look at one person on the list every night. Ask around about them, and see what they know if you do manage to meet with them. If I manage to meet with them? They're not particularly easy to get a hold of. I always preferred to be a little off the grid, but nowadays, they're all practically in hiding, if not MIA or dead. Funny coincidence? It is not my job to speculate. In other words, he knows something, but is not at liberty to say. Guess I'll find out anyway, if I do meet them. And why one night each? Shouldn't I investigate every loose thread until we're satisfied? In a perfect world, you'd have all the time you needed. But this is not a perfect world. They'll try to brute force a solution to the case as soon as possible. I suspect that, 4 nights from now, once the celebrations of power are over, they'll ask for your findings, and that will be all. Fucked up. To be brutally honest, my focus wouldn't be on solving the murder. Instead, I'd focus on not embarrassing yourself. Fucked up. This is part of why I didn't want you to get involved. You couldn't possibly think Arturo had you involved out of the goodness of his heart. The entirety of your investigation is just for show. You were meant to be an unwitting actor. If it wasn't for the loyalty I feel toward Kadir, Samira, and my sire, God knows the memory of my embrace still holds too much sway on me. I'd have plotted a vendetta against these assholes long ago. But let's be frank, even if I thought that lying to Mia about being sympathetic to the New York City Anarchs yesterday could benefit me, I still probably wouldn't do it. It would feel like betrayal. There's something about the Camarilla's ideals that still ring true to me. A belief in the individual excellence and nobility. Or the way time-tested traditions can ground us in this terrifying new existence. But being on the receiving end of this shitty neo-feudal structure, and seeing firsthand how the elites always play by their own rules regardless, I can't help but think there must be something better out there, the kind of Camarilla that would actually deserve slavish loyalty from kindred like Kadir. A penny for your thoughts? I take a drag from my cigarette. After the last few months of hazing, I didn't expect a random act of kindness. This kind of bullshit is, well, just how the Camarilla works, isn't it? More often than it's necessary, I'd say. But this time, it's a risky play. In my experience, if one simply displays some cunning, they can unexpectedly turn a situation like this to their advantage. The court. Part of the court assumes that you're unable to surprise them in this regard. But if you do, by the end of this investigation, you might as well play yourself out of the ditch you're in. That would be a night to remember. So, where should I go first? You should go with me. As it happens, I'm only out here because I was ordered to drive Eiling to the art hole. And guess the name of her protege. Oh, so that's who Agathon is? Or was? Nobody knows. It's a complicated thing. You'll see. I'm on the clock, so let's get a move on. Lead the way, big bad wolf. Still not done with this bit? Not while it's still bothering you. I'm leaving you behind if you don't keep up. As I already told Kadir, and numerous times at that, I have no idea what happened with Agathon. The Broadway Chantry, part of the Chantry of the Five Boroughs, is Eiling's usual hangout place these past few nights. She's in a hurry and not willing to talk. Do you have any idea about his connection to kindred going by the names of Tamika, D'Angelo, and Hope? I don't. I made it a point to keep our relationship strictly professional one and never meddled in his personal affairs. Unless they influenced our work, that is. But it only happened one time. Ah, yes. The infamous Juno case. Were you two in conflict about anything? Something that might have driven a wedge between you? A pause, which is slightly too long for me not to get suspicious. Nothing I can think of, but I did take offense to one thing. It was quite rude of him not to give me a proper warning before he departed. Still, this line of work is not particularly favored by folks with a perfect grasp of savoir-vivre. I do hope his search will bring him back right where he started, begging me to take him back in. The boy is talented, and I did put a lot of time into mentoring him. If he doesn't, well, que sera. No skin off my back. So you won't even entertain a possibility that he found himself in harm's way? I know an answer to that one, a researcher's mindset. She doesn't think it's worth considering the worst-case scenario seriously and just takes things as they come. Precisely. If, for example, climate change scientists didn't operate this way, most would have put a bullet in their own head long ago. You know, I hate that she's right about that. I mean, it's not really as grim as all that, but, you know. We're in trouble! That's a cheery thought. I'd like to search the Chantry for Agathon's whereabouts. Our good sheriff already did that long ago. You'd just be wasting your time, and ours for that matter. Didn't you say Helene was waiting for us, Kadir? Give the girl 15 minutes, Eiling. A minimal support for an ongoing investigation. And besides, she has a proclivity for finding things everyone else has overlooked. 10 minutes. And if you attempt to pass this door or that one up there, I can't guarantee you'll walk out of there here alive. Thank you very much, High Regent. Just get on with it. My time here is practically up, and I've found nothing of use. It seems Agathon was completely dedicated to his work. Even his personal quarters are as barren as it gets. No personal touch whatsoever. Nothing I could go by. It's all research, research, research. He seems like such a bore. Focus, Julia. What would you do if you were a warlock workaholic? Where would you leave clues to your whereabouts? What would you do if you found yourself in mortal danger and wanted Dakota to know? It's loose. Was that? Yeah. It was facing this way, huh? I approached the place where I saw the shadowy silhouette appear. It's a brick wall, and one of the bricks is loose. Kadir and Eiling are in another room right now, still discussing the party. It's not that bad. You want to learn how to find humor in the little things. It's demeaning, Sheriff. That's all there is to it. It's time. I work the brick loose until I can grip it. Then I tug as silently as possible, revealing a hole in the wall. Inside, there's a book. I browse through it quickly. Agathon's diary. That's a bingo. Your 10 minutes are up. So are your 15 minutes, in fact. Are you done here? If I could just get 5 more minutes, I still feel like I could stumble upon something here if I just look a little more. No way, Julia. Time to go. Fine. I put the brick back and take the diary with me. It did look like Agathon left it so that someone in the Chantry could find it, presumably the High Regent. But my investigation takes priority for now. I bid Kadir and Eiling adieu and start looking for a secluded place to read the diary. This place right here should be secluded enough for me to browse through the diary in peace. I start quickly skimming the book, singling out sentences and paragraphs that look interesting, trying to get a general idea of what kind of person Agathon was. Or is, I hope. The more I read, the clearer the image of the person becomes. He's been working under the High Regent for 15 years. There's an underlying shame in the way he talks about Tremere magic. He always describes himself as too slow on the uptake, too late to learn something, too much of an amateur. He was really into tying his self-worth to his wisdom. The entries, beginning in 2012, are terrifyingly regular. The handwriting is extraordinarily neat. The author's absolute dedication to his studies is palpable. If there's anything to his unlife besides work, it's his relationships with the three important women he holds dear. The first is his master, Eileen Sturbridge, whom he reveres for her knowledge, stoicism, and willingness to experiment. I was hoping to find some details about her secretive work here, but no dice. Looks like he was willing to risk someone finding all about his inner life, but not anything that could harm her studies. A good pupil, serving a good mentor. I'm jealous. The second is another warlock, his ex-lover, Juno, whom he feels guilty about. They had a conflict in which Eiling was involved. Having to choose between the two, he chose Eiling. According to Agathon, there was never real love between him and Juno. First, it was just shared interests, then a growing disconnect, and ultimately guilt which made him feel responsible for her. But maybe it's just excuses. He strikes me as the kind of person who spends most of his time inside his head. Doesn't sound like someone you could have a fulfilling romance with. I know what you're doing, Julia, but this is not a rabbit hole you'd want to be stuck in right now. Keep reading. Anyway, last but not least, Agathon's mortal grandmother, Sylvia. She is the light of his life, and the person who took care of him after his parents died in a ritual murder. Not quite what I expected. Her family used to serve a cruel vampire in Mexico City, and it was retribution for their escape. She was the lead Tremere used to track him down, actually. He was keeping her alive for a long time, but a few months ago, her heart gave up. Agathon blamed his insufficient skills, the kind of man who carries the entire world on his shoulders. Left alone with Eiling, he drowned himself in work and eventually burned out, but it doesn't sound like Sylvia's death was the only event that triggered his depression spiral. There was some kind of incident back in 2019. He doesn't cite specifics. Another thing he was worried about writing down? It's all vague mentions of a person who made him fly too close to the sun. Whatever happened, it had the same effect as his grandma's death. New York stopped feeling like a home to him. It became alien, empty, grotesque. His words. I checked the first page. There's a recent photograph of him glued to the inner side of the cover. He's facing away from the camera, only showing his profile, striking a rather dramatic pose. At first, it looks kind of poserish to me. However, upon closer inspection, it seems like a goodbye photo. The final melancholic glance he throws in your direction before disappearing for good. There's also a single black feather. No idea what it means. Something's written next to the photograph with a lot of flourish. It looks like a poem? More than annoyed, sad. More than sad, unhappy. More than unhappy, suffering. More than suffering, abandoned. More than abandoned, alone in the world. More than alone, exiled. More than exiled, dead. More than dead, forgotten. The Sedative, 1917, by Marie Laurencin. Looks like he wrote it down recently. It might have resonated with his emotional state over the past few months. Most importantly, this seems to confirm his intent with this diary to me. The general idea seems to be, his research will outlive him, so he doesn't even detail it. Still, he wanted some kind of tangible memory of who he was left for posterity. But that's not all. There's still a mystery to be solved. Quite a few of the pages toward the end are missing, but it doesn't look like they were necessarily removed to redact information. They were torn off in a way that makes it clear the paper wasn't ever used. What's more, the preceding pages are empty as well. Could it be that that's when it happens again? I notice a bizarre shape in my peripheral vision. Bleed. I turn to catch a glimpse as fast as possible, but it's already gone. If my heart could beat faster right now, it would be jumping out of my chest. Spooky, 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 spooky. It's discomforting. I've been seeing these apparitions ever since I turned into this. The worst part is I feel they were always there, even as a mortal, sometimes in the corner of my eye, disappearing when I tried to look directly at them, making me think it was just my mind playing tricks on me. But when you're a part of the Night Clan, there are times they don't disappear. There are times they try to force you to do their bidding, and worst of all, no, I don't want to think about it right now. Still, in my experience, they aren't exactly, I don't know, consciously malevolent. This one in particular was trying to help. I open the book on the first empty page and look around to make sure nobody is staring. Then I cut myself using a razor I keep in my pocket, just in case. It's not a deep slice. I just want to let a droplet of vitae fall onto the page. That's when the letters appear. Look at me, a clown, no longer confident that any of my people can be trusted. Jesus Christ. I turn to a slur. A Camarilla's slur, at that. Yeah, I just, I don't know. I kind of appreciate that. What are you waiting for, boy? Laugh at me. Ridicule is all I deserve. Come on. Don't just stand there like an idiot. You want to say something? Say it. What the hell? This is the last thing I expected to happen. The diary is haunted. A series of quickly changing sentences and images, composed of shadows and blood, give me a window into another reality. It's not an objective view. It's like scattered remnants of emotions, similar to a half-remembered dream, full of holes, but an honest expression of one's mind. Might it be interacting with me? It's just a hypothesis, but I don't know why else it would show me Callahan. And was that Ellis Island? Right. This time, I don't even look at its direction. The voice makes me feel oddly confident about what I need to do. I pick up the feather that was in the diary and dip it in my vitae. Then I write down, let's try compassion. You may call me whatever names you want. I still pity you, old man. Well, ain't that mighty grand of you? I see what you are. In some ways, compassion from the likes of me is probably the worst gift you could get. It doesn't feel like this is the way these events took place. It's more like a way to explore Agathon's emotional truth about the way it all unfolded. In any case, the diary is reacting to me, and some shade of the truth is better than nothing. It's a handy tool, and if I use it right, I might find some clues that could aid me in my investigation. There are a few thoughts floating around in my head, like alien entities trying to make their way out. Is that also an effect of the diary's power? Let's try destiny. I'm curious, what is the destiny you see in front of you? There are two paths I see laid out in front of me. The first one is freedom bought with a horrible price. The second one is utter and complete debasement. But you haven't decided on one of these paths yet. No, but I'm afraid that choice might have already been made for me. God damn it, what are the two of you talking about? Why did you meet? Why did you pick this place to meet, anyway? It's secluded, and there's something in the air here that makes all the blood magic go haywire, which is especially important. Because of me? You're still afraid I might be part of the experiment? No, because of that devil woman. All the scribblings disappear, and another set starts taking their place. The diary conjures an image of a completely different place. I instantly get a feeling of déjà vu. I process the space differently. The atmosphere is different, more familiar, homely. But this is, unmistakably, the Tremere Chantry I visited earlier tonight. And standing there is just the person I'd expect. Looks like that's it for my meeting with Callahan. God damn it. But what if the person he was talking about and eliciting a strong emotional reaction from was Eiling? The diary awaits my next command. High Regent. Who? What is this naive quotation? I make it a point to have as few strings attached to me as possible. The few I've kept because of the benefits they offer should be painfully obvious to you. I don't feel comfortable being a part of this at all. I always thought we were busy with science, not politics. These are the words of a child, Agathon. Science has always relied on politics, and politics on science. Not like this, High Regent. Don't embarrass me, Agathon. Not like this. The moving scribbles disappear again. I hastily let another drop of blood fall on the page. What appears this time is yet another familiar face. Ah, yes, Agathon. What is it that you wanted to tell me? You goddamned rat. I beg your pardon? The harpy vanishes. Yeah, right. As if I could ever gather courage to say this to your face. But the least I can do is try and stab you in the back. The diary ends here. I spill a little more vitae on the page, but it no longer works. I suppose that's it. Still no idea what happened to Agathon. Is he alive? Or is he dead? Maybe Dakota is right. I've been a glass half-empty buzzkill too often. I will brace for the worst, but hope for the best. The way he left his diary for someone to carry on his work, the hints he strategically left inside it, he's got this all planned out, no doubt about it. I choose to believe I will see him again one night. Maybe I'll even compliment that jacket he has. In any case, I think it's time to pay a visit to the art hall. And I think we'll stop here. Nice little cliffhanger for next time. Thanks everybody for joining me for the Monday Spooktacular. I'll be streaming again on Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and I'll be playing a cozy game. So if you're into cozy games, see you on Sunday, and if you're just here for the spook, I'll see you next Monday at 7:30 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Have a lovely evening.